It's Stongo Seminole. Okay. Jeremy Foltz, Jeho Jeffkado, Samojanetta, Hadamnetta, Helos, and Pompo Hoyan. This is Jeremy Foltz. I'm going to be your host for the next half hour here on the great Seminole Nation of Oklahoma radio show. Streaming live to the millions and millions listening out there today. And sitting next to me, we've been having the wheel of co-hosts here recently. Let's see who it is. Will you hand me that little thing over there? Let's see who's going to be the co-host today. And it's Florence Wise sitting next to me in the seat. Florence, why don't you go ahead and come over here, Flo. Flo, come on, sit down. Legibus. How are you doing, Flo?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, let me match your energy real quick.
I'm doing pretty good, Jeremy. I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm doing great. It's another great day.
Yeah, man, you must be doing good if you're sitting in that seat again. Golly. Well, this is the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma radio program. For the next half hour, we're going to be going over some, some announcements, some things happening in the community, and just some things you probably should know. But before we do that, Flo, every week we usually ask the people in the hot seat what they did over the weekend. Did you do anything interesting?
No.
Dodge storms?
Yeah.
Man, it was another stormy weekend. Last night was stormy. I thought the house I grew up in last night got blown away, but luckily it was still there. You know it's bad when Carson and Dustin are both on the radar screen. And, man, I didn't know if anything made it yesterday. I had to check on our cows and our pigs, but they got slaughtered about 40 years ago, so they's already gone. But anyway, yes. All right, and then this Sunday, we're talking May 12th. Flo, do you know what May 12th is this year? Sunday.
Mother's Day. It's
Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ichka Inita or Ichka Athakwichka Inita maybe. But the churches that will be having their church meeting this Sunday will be Arbika, Big Arbor, Hickory Ground number 1, High Springs, Kanawha, Hilltop, Little Casita, Middle Creek number 1, New Arbor, Okima, Rock Spring, Anadarko, Ryle Community, Salt Creek Baptist, Seminole Baptist, Snake Creek number 1 and number 2, Trenton, Vian Creek, and Wegawa are all having their church services or their church meetings this week. And, you know, like we usually say, sometimes churches will go visit other churches on their church meetings. And so you might just double check to make sure if you're planning on visiting one of these churches, just make sure they are having services, because sometimes they might go visit somewhere else and like they do, and it'll be a good time. But High Springs, Kanawha, have you ever been there, Flo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good deal. And then what else are we missing? Anything else about churches?
I think that's it.
Good? All right.
One, yeah.
Flo keeping me on track this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, you do have
Somebody
to.
does.
You've worked with me long enough to know that I'll veer off and I'll just be going in the wrong direction sometimes. And Flo got to bring me back around. But, and then also, you know, every week we talk about the ones who have started their journey, and a lot of families are missing loved ones today. And, especially from the storms, you know, there's some communities that were devastated from the storms last week, as well as again this weekend, and then yet last night as well. Let's remember those families and members of the community in your thoughts and in your prayers. And at this time, we are going to go ahead and pause for a moment of silence.
Okay, and then so we're going to start off in government. On May 6, 2024, the College of Muskogee Nation hosted the Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. The Seminole Nation Communications and Media Department, along with Miss Seminole Nation, Genesis Tallahassee, participated in the event to show support. Sunday, May 5th, 2024, was National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. Indigenous women are murdered 10 times higher than all other ethnicities. Murder is also the third leading cause of death for Indigenous women. More than 4 out of 5 Indigenous women have experienced violence.
You know, that was a good event that they hosted yesterday, and I know it mentioned that the media team went, as well as Miss Seminole Nation, Genesis Tallahassee. And there's pictures on Facebook showing some of the happenings if you want to check those out. And then also you can check out the Seminole Nation website, news and events, or click the link on the Facebook page to view a letter from the MMIP Central Oklahoma chapter regarding funding, resources such as fundraising, fundraisers, donations, charitable contributions, and sponsorships. This is our purpose, not only to bring awareness to our MMIP crisis, but to help our MMIP families and victims become part of their tribal communities and become one with their culture and identity. And then for more information, you can visit the post on the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Facebook page with the MMIP, or Murdered and Missing Indigenous People, Central Oklahoma chapter.
Next up, we have a band meeting announcement. The Tuskegee Harjo Band will have their quarterly meeting Thursday, May 30th at 6 p.m. at the new council house.
And so band meetings are starting to happen because there's a quarterly general council meeting around the corner. And I know some things are going to be due pretty soon, and you'll start seeing those band announcements happening. As well as in June 2024, Indian Archaeology Camp. Native youth gains hands-on experience in archaeology, learned field techniques, including shoveling, testing, unit and block excavation, record keeping, and mapping. You can submit those applications by April 1st, and that will be 4 days in North Florida and University of North Florida. Expenses paid. And then Jeff, is this one of the things that you're going to be talking about? And we'll get more information on that because we do have a guest in the audience today, or here in the studio. The new director of the Historic Preservation Office, Jeff Harjo, will be joining us a little bit later, and we'll go over that a little bit later as well. But then also the Boys and Girls Club of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma summer camp registration is now open. Registration, you can register online at the bgcsnok.com. Registration fees are $80 per month, June 3rd through the 27th and July 1st through the 25th, ages 8 through 18. Great futures start there. If you have any questions there, 405-746-2817.
And then Tai Chi and chair aerobics is still going on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It'll be at 10 a.m. at the New Life Church in Wewoka. You can contact, I believe that's CHR, right? Yeah, CHR and Diabetes to find out how to get on with that. The phone number is going to be 405-584-7923, or you can call 405-652-0878.
And usually Jerome Harrison or Kyla Harjo are the ones helping out with that. And then also, they have extended their Power Hour classes until the end of May for National Physical Fitness Month. Just starting your fitness journey, or more advanced, they accommodate their class each week to all participants, regardless of age and or size, at the Miccosukee Gym Thursdays at 6 p.m.
The Native Youth Preventing Diabetes Camp is a one-day camp for Native American kids ages 8 through 12 that will be at OBU in Shawnee. Kids will learn the benefits of a healthy lifestyle while also enjoying different physical activities. It's going to be May 28th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 500 West University in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And then next is first 10 Native campers out of Seminole County Transportation will leave to Figney Wellness Center May 28th at 8 a.m. and return at 4 p.m. Paper forms will be available at the Wellness Center. For more information on that, you can contact Jerome Harrison at 405-584-7923.
Yeah, that's for the one-day camp, the Native Youth Preventing Diabetes Camp. And then also the Seminole Nation Media is producing a Seminole Church documentary and seeking content. And so I hope your ears are perked up on this one. Their shot list, or on their shot list, is drone footage. And so if your church would like to participate, please have someone who can speak on behalf of your church to give permission for the Seminole Nation Media team to film. And in exchange, they can take aerial photos for free of your church, or for you to use any way you would like to. The Seminole Nation Media is also seeking historical church photos, stories, videos, etc. If your church would like to participate or share your photos or videos, please reach out to seminolemedia@gmail.com with church documentary in the subject line. If you would like to have them get some aerial photos of your church in exchange for using the drone footage, you can get in contact with them at the same email address at seminolemedia@gmail.com. And then I know they also said they're looking for possibly some camp house photos as well. So, there used to be a lot of camp houses, around some of these churches, and as the fellowship halls, you might call them, Gehoja, started coming around. They kind of started dwindling. I know we tore down our family camp house over at Middle Creek several years ago with the intentions of building one again, but haven't built it yet. And so, and I think a lot of families get in that because a lot of them camp houses were built, a long time ago. We talked about, I think some of these churches around here, I know the one I used to go to is over 150 years old. And so you start looking at some of these camp houses, and they're fairly old too, and usually probably made out of reused lumber, and so the camp houses kind of in poor shape now, and it takes a lot to keep those up. And so if your family still has a camp house that's up, you might even let them know, because they might want to get a photo or get some footage of your family camp house somewhere.
All right. And then if you have a story, you can tell us. Have an interesting story to tell, an accomplishment, or local tribal business shout out for the Chogatolumi or Seminole Nation Radio. You can also email seminolemedia@gmail.com for consideration in the next Community Spotlight.
All right. And then from Food and Nutrition, the Wawoka IHS dietitian Jess presents cooking demonstration at the where is it going to be at? Location, Seminole Nation Food and Distribution Center. This is going to be Friday, May the 10th at 6 p.m. That looks good. Recipes include barbecue chicken with corn and blueberry salad. And to sign up, you can contact Kevin Jones. Her phone number 405-334. And that concludes the Seminole. That concludes me reading about the cooking demonstration being held on May the 10th, Friday at 6 p.m. But that's, again, barbecue chicken with corn and blueberry salad. To sign up for this one, contact Kevin, 405-334-4007.
And they're also going to have another one on May 23rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the Food Distribution Program Kitchen. They're going to be making tomato and bean quesadilla with watermelon salsa. Again, you can contact Kevin Jones at 405-334-4007.
Good deal. And then the Housing Authority is still hiring for an account tech one or Boys and Girls Club program coordinator. If you have any questions, you can get in contact with them at 405-257-6604. And then the language program, a few things going on. The Seminole Nation Elder audio recording is we're looking for elders to come through and maybe share a story or a song or anything in the language. And then also the program's also still looking for speakers. And so if you'd like to help out in any of the, we're translating books, we're doing stories, we're also starting the adult immersion program. And if you want to be involved in any way, you don't have to have teaching experience, you don't have to know how to read the language. All you have to do is be a speaker of the language, and that's all the qualifications we need. And you'd be able to help us out. Again, get in contact with us at the language program, 405-562-5567.
All right, and then Seminole Nation Princess Pageant applications are now available. You can contact the Seminole Nation Princess Committee Chairperson Elisa Kilo at 405-339-7274 or visit the complex front desk for an application.
All right, and then the Older American program located at the Miccosukee Mission is opening and serving meals Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Friday morning breakfast, 9 to 10. Also, individuals 54 and under can purchase meal trays for $7 cash only. May is also Elder Month, and so they'll be doing some things over there today. What's today, May 7th?
Yes.
Is chicken and dumplings, greens, and fruit. Ooh, that sounds good. And then also there's a Mother Day luncheon going on Friday, May 10th, which is going to be this Friday from 12 to 3, and it's going to be located at the new OAP Center at the Miccosukee Mission. Seniors 55 and up may bring one guest. If you have any questions, contact Jalen Jones, 405-233-4441.
And sponsored by Wewoka Indian Health Center and the Community Health Department. Chair Volleyball, Wednesday, May 22nd and May 29th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Seminole OAP or at the Miccosukee Mission. Yeah. People 55 years and older, you must be enrolled with a federally recognized tribe. You can contact Larissa at 405-257-7541 if you're interested.
And also on Thursday, May the 9th, from 10 to 4, meet with veterans, advocates, and representatives who can provide the latest information on housing, employment, VA benefits, legal, and more. There will be an extra area for free or extra services like free dental cleaning, screenings, haircuts, etc. as they secure them. But there will be, I think that's supposed to be for the flyer. So they might not have. So let me rephrase that. The area that I read for extra services, I think, was just for us to know that there'll be plenty of things there to do. Again, housing, employment, VA benefits, legal, and more. I know we'll be there in the afternoon to help with the sign-in sheets, but there'll be a lot of services that'll be out there. And so, again, that's going to be located at the Seminole Veteran Services Office at 35419 Highway 59 in Seminole, Oklahoma, 74868. And if you have any questions, you should be able to contact the new director over there, Eric, and his phone number should be 405-234-5242. All right, and then if you're looking for a job, the Seminole Nation is hiring. You can go to the website www.sno-nsn.gov and look up things for like agriculture, childcare, COPE, diabetes program, environmental health, Head Start, IT, OAP, procurement and property, and transit. And then there's one basketball tournament here that's going to be at Strother High School. Entry fee is $150, but if you have any questions, you can contact Rachel or George at 405-683-9615 or 405-481-9993.
Zoom in, Jeremy.
I ain't gonna screw. I need to be able to look at it with my 20/20 vision. So, all right, and so at this point, we're gonna go ahead and bring out our guest for today, all the way from the Miccosukee Mission grounds from the Historic Preservation Office. We have Mr. Jeff Harjo. Jeff,
Hey,
welcome. How's it going?
oh, it's going great. Thank you for allowing me to be on the radio.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been on the radio, but I've done it before, so it's all good.
Good deal. Well, like we mentioned, Jeff is the new director over at the Historic Preservation, and you brought some flyers and some things with you. So, Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you. But before we do, I always let all of our guests know, we probably have at least 1 million people listening because we're on the radio and now we're also streaming. So there's a lot of people out there. The reach is great. And so why don't you tell a little bit about people that may not know who you are to give them a little background on Jeff?
Okay, well, this is my second time around for working with the Seminole Nation. Glad to be back. I first worked for Seminole Nation when you guys were probably in diapers, maybe. But actually, in the fall of 1996, I was selected as the first historic preservation officer. And I worked in that position for about 3 months, maybe almost 4 months. And at the time, Chief Jerry Haney said, "Hey, come on, I need somebody in my communications department." So I reluctantly left HPO office, went over to communications, and I told the chief right away, I said, "Chief, I don't know anything about putting together a newspaper because I'm a broadcaster, former radio DJ, former television engineer." And he said, "Oh, you'll be okay. You'll be fine." And then he said, "And the other part of it, you get to be on the radio." So after he told me that, it's like, oh, okay, good. I'll try it. So
I can do that, innit?
I can do that. Yeah, I've been doing that before. I did that in Tahlequah, and I did that in Muskogee. So I had a lot of fun with that. So I was actually on KWSH years ago. I did just like what you guys are doing, did the radio program and had a lot of fun with that. But now we fast forward to 2024. Here I'm back as the Historic Preservation Officer Director and having a good time with that. Look forward to doing more and more. And, in between that time, I was on the council for a little while. Not a whole lot. Not a real long time, I first got on 2003, and I last got off 2021, a couple of years back. But it's all been a good journey. It's been a good experience. In between there, I've worked for other tribes. Actually, was on the radio a few years back, 2016. Do you really want to hear all of this?
It's up to you.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Though. I get extra credit for thinking you follow a band, right?
You follow a band,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
I was a band chief at one time, yes, sir. Anyways, let's get to this. Enough about me. I was going to say I was on the radio in Cushing, Oklahoma, too, about 2016. So that was a lot of fun. And I was talking about Pawnee stuff up there. I'm not Pawnee, but, I worked for the Pawnees. So
Yeah, and earlier in the radio show, we talked about this archaeology camp happening in June, and this sounds like it's going to be something coming from your department or being shared from your department. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
And actually, I was going to get to that.
Oh, well, go ahead then, Jeff.
Well, actually, on the flyer that you referred to earlier, you mentioned the deadline was April 1st. Well, we've already passed April 1st. And so we're going to create our own deadline here because the camp, it's an archaeology camp. I've worked with these folks before. Last year, we went out to Fort Benning, Georgia, and we did basically the same thing. We did the shovel testing. They did the screening, of the dirt and the little charts and things like that. So this one will be in Jacksonville, Florida. This is way up on the northeast part of Florida, just below Georgia. And So I don't think we're going to be out in the woods as much as we were last year. But we have openings for 6 students, ages 13 through 17. Now, I'm kind of leaning more towards the older students because, we want someone there that really has an interest in archaeology, an interest in history, and also someone that maybe, is thinking about that could be a good opportunity or a possibility for them to get into that area. But anyways, we have openings for 6 kids, or children, I would say, or students, and 2 adults. So of those adults, now I'm thinking maybe a parent or a grandparent may want to go out there as well. So that's why they had the positions for the 2 adults. As you said earlier, everything's paid for. For the adults plus the children or the students, airfare, hotel, per diem. I mean, it's basically a free trip to go to Florida. Now, the thing about it, we have different dates that we're trying to find enough students for. And I know students are busy. June 3rd through 6th is the first camp date that is available. If we don't get enough students, we may have to send them out June 13th through 16th. So those are 2 dates that we're looking at. And let's say we run this for about 3 weeks. We don't get any applicants, or we only get 2 applicants, then we'll shoot for the 13th through the 16th. But anyone that's interested, if you've never flown on a plane, then you might want to consider that. I mean, it will be a good experience for anyone that wants to go out there, learn about archaeology and what gets done there.
What was the first dates again?
First date would be June 3rd through the 6th. And then the second date is the 13th through the 16th.
All right.
And again, 6 students, ages 13 to 17, and 2 adults for the trip. So we're, depending on the number of applicants, we can't do both dates, but we'll either do the first date or the second date. Now, if you need more information about that locally, because I know on the flyer it has a Florida number, you can give us a call at our office, and our phone number is 405-652-7695. So you can talk to Mary. She'll help you out. We'll develop a little, information sheet on the applicants. Last year, I think they had to write an essay, but I've contacted the people that are sponsoring this, and so far they haven't got back to me on whether would they have to do an essay or not. I know that scares a lot of students away. It's like, oh, I don't want to write anything, but I think it'll go pretty well.
All right, and then Jeff, we're kind of running short on time. Is there anything last that you'd like to put out there?
That's about it. Right. We're preparing now, looking at making plans for our August 7th Independence Day for Seminole Nation. And so I'll have more information about that at a later time.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by the studio today. Again, check out Jeff in the HPO office, and unfortunately, we're kind of running short on time. And so, happy birthday to everyone having birthdays this week. You can catch the rebroadcast of this radio show on the Facebook page, YouTube, and tribal website for the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma every Wednesday. If you have news or announcements you want to share on the community events Facebook page, please email the communications staff at seminolemedia@gmail.com or call 405-652-7251. And as always, tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. right here on KWSH 97.7 FM or the legendary 1260 a.m. and streaming live on KWSHradio.com. Mado.